Hey guys, and welcome to another weekly GuitarSkills.com video. And in today's lesson, we're going to check out double stops, which is used a heck of a lot in blues and rock music. So if you play blues and you play rock and you want to be good at those two styles, then you definitely need to get a good handle on your double stops. So let me play you 5 ideas where you can see some double stops in action, and then afterwards I'll give you 2 cool exercises that will both serve as a method for getting your fingers and your muscle memory dialed into using these double stop voicings, and it will also serve as kind of a palette, so to speak, for some creativity for coming up with some of your own riffs and licks. So if that sounds good, let's dig right in. Alright, that's a cool riff by Collective Soul, making use of inverted power chords on the low strings. We'll get into the specifics later, but let's keep this running. Next up, we're going to check out another very famous riff making use of inverted power chords. Alright, we all know that one. Smoke and the Water, making use of inverted power chords, which essentially is just a double stop voicing. How about this one? Alright, that's a classic ZZ Top Lagrange. Also making use of double stops, starting with an inverted power chord and then doing some other things. So talking about doing other things, let's go into the blues world right now and check out these 2 examples. Alright, classic Stevie Ray Vaughan intro for Pride and Joy, and also one of the solos in Pride and Joy starts off with 4 double stops across 4 bars. Check this out. Alright, so there you go. We've just played a wide range of, styles making use of double stops. We had Collective Soul, which is kind of a modern rock sound. We had Deep Purple, classic rock. And then we had Texas Blues with ZZ Top and Stevie Ray Vaughan. In fact, Stevie Ray Vaughan used double stops all over the show in his playing, whether it was rhythm playing or solos. And in fact, rumor has it that he loved double stops so much that he called his band Double Trouble. Alright, so obviously that's not true, but it doesn't take anything away from double stops and how amazing they are, and you could have just seen these used in a wide range of styles. So what exactly is a double stop? Well, a double stop is purely just 2 notes played together, like you heard here. Just playing these 2 notes together. Also, yeah. So double stop is purely playing 2 notes together, and they can be any 2 notes for that matter. Most of the time, it's for 2 strings that are right, next to each other. When you get sounds like that, technically they're still double stops, but the ones we're looking at here is playing them on 2 adjacent strings. So a triad, as you might know, tri standing for 3, a triad has 3 notes, and a dyad will have 2 notes. So that's just another way of looking at a double stop. And what you want to do when you play rock is you don't want to go ahead and play full chords. I mean, there are some songs like Fly Away by Lenny Kravitz and some Clash stuff that makes use of full chords like that. But stylistically, it doesn't cover such a wide range of application, because you've seen in the video we went from modern rock to classic rock to Texas blues rock to Texas blues, right? So double stops are way more maneuverable when it comes to the guitar and the styles that you can use them. So that is why you definitely need a good handle on these. So you can actually, they cut through the mix a lot clearer than what it would be if you play a big fat bar chord. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to give you an exercise, in fact 2 different exercises in which you can get your muscle memory and your motor skills really dialed into these double stop voicings so that it kind of becomes second nature for you when you play them. We're going to look at 2 specific approaches on the guitar, and in future videos we're going to break down those riffs and licks and things I played in the beginning of this video, and as soon as they're released we'll come back to this video's description and we'll link to them in the description. So if you want to learn any of those in more detail, you can definitely find them. But let's check out the 2 exercises that I've got for you right now. So since we're playing blues and rock, one of the most common keys will be A, and one of the most common scales will be the A minor pentatonic scale. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the A minor pentatonic scale and we're going to look at it in 2 ways, a vertical fashion as well as a horizontal fashion, in a way for you to get exposed to a wide range of double stops. So let's start with the actual scale and turn it into double stops. So instead of playing single notes like this, I'm going to play . All right, and that right there is your first exercise. You need to be able to play, and even want to use the word execute, these double stops very cleanly, because you want to still be able to dig into the strings when you play, whether it's blues or rock, and you want to make sure you don't hit any of the other strings that's not part of that particular double stop. So start with the minor pentatonic scale, and then you're going to play the 2 notes on the E and B strings on the 8th fret together, then 5 and 5. Then you go to the B and the G strings where you play 7 and 8, 5 and 5, 7 and 7 on the D and G, 5 and 5, 7, 7 on the A and D, 5 and 5. And then we need to go, it's a bit of a weird shape which you probably won't use a lot, but you might as well check it out, which is 8 on the E, 7 on the A, and 5 and 5. All right, so that is the first port of call. Learn how to play that. And then once you have that down, you can start adding some cool rhythms to it like this. And as you can hear, as I'm playing this, I'm only hearing the double stops, right? I'm not hearing any other notes. And that is just because I've spent some time practicing how to play these double stops in the right way. So that rhythm I played. You can go and experiment with that as much as you want. So that is the first thing that you need to get used to, is playing the double stops from the thick strings all the way up to the higher strings. And that's exactly what I did in the example I showed you in the beginning. We started with collective soul here. Then we went to the inner strings for Deep Purple. Same one for Lagrange. Then we went high for Pride and Joy. So you got to be able to play the double stops across all of the strings. So that's your first exercise. Learn the shapes and then come up with some musical sounding phrases and just experiment. Now next up, I want to show you how we take the A minor pentatonic scale on one string, in this case the G string. So we're going to have the A note starting here. And then I'm going to play double stops. So all of these double stops are played on the same fret. We have the 2nd fret on the D and G string, the 5th fret, the 7th fret. And over here we have the 10th fret and the 9th fret. That's the only time it's not both on the same fret. Then 12, 14, then we have 17, 19 is where I'm going to stop it for now. Then go back down. Alright, so that's your first job. Just get the shapes dialed in so you know where they are. And then you can come up with some musical examples and fiddling around with these shapes. But we're going to add in the open A string just to add a bit of vibe and a bit of harmonic context for what we're doing here. So now I can play stuff like this. And all I'm doing is I have this pedal tone that I'm palm muting slightly, and then you just experiment and see what you can do with those shapes. We have both a vertical approach as well as a horizontal approach. And if you want to be fancy, you can actually turn these double stops, which for the most part are inverted power chords, or sometimes you can see them as fourths as well, but then you can turn them into power chords, just normal power chords. So this might be a D over A power chord. Remember, if I played Smoke in the Water over here, for example, so that shape, which is an inverted D power chord, I can turn that into an A power chord by just adding my 3rd finger on the 9th fret here. And now you can come up with some interesting sounds, because now you're not limited to just the double stops. And that's literally me just messing around for the sole purpose of doing something that is showing me the shapes, but also just, you know, having some fun on the guitar and trying to bring a musical element into that. In fact, that's one of the things that we teach at GuitarSkills.com, which is what I call my mechanics into music method. So we take just pure shapes like I've shown you now, the mechanical approach of actually playing those shapes and then turning that into music. And at some point, it's going to go from a mechanical exercise and it's going to cross over into music. And that is a really great way to practice, because then you're not just playing boring scales all the time, but you are actually, you know, experimenting with some musical ideas. All right, guys, really hope you enjoyed this lesson. Like I said, we're going to be diving deep into each of the songs that I played in the beginning of this video, just to show you exactly where they come from, what the chords are called, and how you can go and use that in your own playing. As soon as those videos are released, we'll link to them in the description box. But if you don't want to miss any of them, make sure that you hit the bell right here on YouTube so you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you haven't already signed up for a free GuitarSkills.com membership, there's a link in the description box which you should definitely click on. Go and grab your free membership, because this double stop workshop will also be posted to our free members right there. So we're going to have a ton of fun with this stuff. Really hope you enjoy this, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.